Welcome to Moments with Michelle and Michael. You have a mom and a son comparing how life was growing up. Coming at you, Michelle and Michael. Hello, hello,
Hello,
hello.
hello. Hello, Mr. Michael. How are you?
I'm good. I can barely hear you though.
You
You made me
can. Let me
Who knows?
turn up
Maybe
my
go forward,
volume.
maybe
I
forward.
don't know. I don't know if that's going to be safe or not.
Hold on. Okay, can I hear you?
I don't know. Can you?
Yes. Sorry about that. That didn't really work out the way I wanted it to, but that's okay.
That's okay. Glitches are our thing.
Yes.
We love working out glitches. Yay.
We are this second episode we are doing differently. We're in two separate places at the same time.
Yes. You're at home and I'm at my office.
Yes. It's
But
okay though.
It's going to be fun because we're still traveling. We're still having moments. We're still doing what we enjoy doing. And today is a very special day.
Yes.
It's what I'm so excited about today. You have no idea how excited I am about today because today we're going to be talking about travel and vacations.
Ooh. I want to go on a vacation.
I know. No, I don't know what a vacation is. I haven't been on one in so long, I forgot.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
But I have memories of vacations from when I was a kid and a young adult.
Oh yeah.
And I have plans for future ones.
I'm okay with that.
I know. It's fun. I so many things. There are so many things that I remember and things that I want to explore and things that I want to do. And yeah. And I want to do it all before I'm too old to enjoy it.
You're not too old. Come on now.
I don't know. The last couple of days, it seems like age is kicking me where the sun don't shine, you know?
Whoa. I don't want to know about that.
I know.
Unacceptable.
But remember the last time we met and we did episode 1, we talked about upcoming episodes that we were going to be doing and how we were going to down the road bring in special guests.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm sorry, not sorry. I couldn't wait.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, I couldn't wait. I had to bring a special guest in on the second episode. Sorry, not sorry.
Episode. Right. Let's do this.
Yeah. So I have a very dear friend who him and his wife did what most people my age dream of. And sold it all, got rid of it all, bought an RV, and hit the road.
That sounds amazing.
I know.
Sounds a lot. It sounds a lot better than
the underbellies of his RV.
It sounds a lot better than getting in the back of the Pinto, and getting on the road.
Oh my gosh, do you remember that?
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
Do you remember driving the 17-mile road doing this in the back of the Pinto? And remember, the seat didn't divide.
Yeah.
And you were wedged between the 12-inch black and white TV set and my crate full of product.
Yeah.
Oh, doing this down the road with the wind and me trying to keep the Pinto on the ground. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Unacceptable.
Oh my gosh. You know that Pinto, I figured it out. That Pinto is 60 years old.
That's insane.
I want my Pinto back.
I don't.
Oh, stop.
Peach colored. Come
You
on
can
now.
drive it.
Peach colored. Come on now.
Yeah. Yeah. So my friend has so much to talk about. He literally has been on the road for over a year now and has
Wow.
seen things that I can only imagine. And what I would like to do is kind of incorporate his experiences with his last year of being in this RV and
Yeah.
traveling and living my dream, and maybe incorporate some of his memories of when he was a kid and things that he did and things that we did, and just kind of make it one big melting pot of memories.
Let's do it.
What do you think? Yeah? All right. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce you guys to my friend, Dave Stewart, his wife, Rhonda Stewart, and their journey in their RV for the last year. They have their own podcast. We'll go into that in a minute. But please help me welcome Dave Stewart to our episode 2.
Hello.
Hey, there we go. How you guys?
Hey, how are you, sir?
Good, good. Yeah, I'm
Are you
in my
some
RV,
remote
just like you
part
said.
of our country? Are you in some remote part of our country?
Well, right now we're in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we're gonna try to make sure we leave here with a little bit of money.
Yeah, because being in an RV is fun, but it's expensive. Yeah. So I'm glad that you were available to be a part of this podcast. I'm so excited about you being here because I want to talk about all three of our memories of traveling and vacationing and the things we experienced when we were young. But I also want to talk about your journey that you and Rhonda have been on for the last 1 year plus, 14 months plus, and the things that you've seen and the things you can suggest that others go to. And just, I've got my paper and my pencil. I'm going to make notes
Oh my
because I
goodness.
want to be you when I grow up.
Right. Oh dear. Well, I watched your.
Michael, what
Oh.
do you remember as a kid? What is your favorite memory of traveling and vacationing as a kid?
Going on fishing trips with my dad to Lake Isabella, Bishop, laying in the back of the truck on the way to Havasu, laying in the back of the Pinto to Havasu, that type of stuff. It was more of
In the snow.
yeah. Well, no, I never did the snow with either you or Dad.
Well, I thought maybe you had gone on a trip up to Bishop or something, and you were there, and it started snowing on you.
No, that was only when I lived in Mammoth.
Oh, well, yeah.
But yeah, fishing with Dad a lot. Huge memories.
Yeah. So mainland, you went to Bishop, Lake Isabella, all of that fun stuff. But did you ever go anywhere with the family on an island somewhere?
Hawaii.
Yeah. What did you do there?
We checked out the USS Arizona at Pearl Harbor. Pretty much the entire island of Oahu, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was like late 80s.
That was just before my infamous accident. That was like a couple months before that accident.
Yeah, that was.
Well, it was like 88 or 89 or something like that.
A whole other episode.
Yeah.
But I remember the trips to Hawaii. I did 2 of them. I remember the trips to Hawaii. They were amazing. Dave, have you ever been to Hawaii?
Oh yeah, a couple times. We, back then that was like business. We, everything was a business trip. But yeah. But talking about some of the old memories as a kid, and this can be strange, but one of my fondest memories is going to a place called Hannah Flats. That name sound familiar?
Yeah.
Not to
Yeah.
me.
Well, other
Yeah.
than Hannah, but
Yeah.
as a kid, we would go to Hannah Flats, and that would be up in the San Bernardino Mountains, up by a place called Fawnskin, Big Bear area.
I know where Big Bear is, and I know where Kern River is.
Well, Fawnskin is just one turn in the road. I mean, that's how long it is. It's you come into Fawnskin, you go around the corner, you go out of Fawnskin. That's how small it is.
Wow.
Yeah, it has just a post office for a bunch of post office boxes, because most of the people that at that time that lived up there, they lived way off on dirt roads, way in the back, back
Right.
areas. So from there, you would take an 8.5 mile dirt road up into the hills to Hannah Flats, which was actually a state park, still is to this day. But nothing was paved back then. And we started going up there, just drive it. Mom would load us all up in the station wagon. And of course, I came from a family of 6. So it was quite a production. And we would set up and camp, and we had the old Coleman lantern that you had to pump, and same way the little stove, we had all that kind of stuff. And we would ride our bicycles down to the community water spigot to fill up jugs and ride them back to camp. That kind of stuff. It was pretty neat.
That's cool.
As the years went on, we upgraded. My dad had took an old school bus and built it into like a camper kind of thing, early RV. And so we would go up there and spend several weeks at a time during the summer up there. And then then we eventually moved that to the Colorado River, and then we'd stay at months at a time, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I remember sending Michael and his dad out for weekend fishing trips. And I remember packing up the igloo cooler and the tent and the sleeping bags, and he'd give me all kinds of stuff, the Coleman stove and all that stuff, and they'd take off and be gone until like late Sunday night. And I think I remember one time, Michael, that you went out with your dad and his buddy his buddy Bob.
Yes.
And you guys were in dinghy boats or something.
No.
Canoeing or something about somebody scooted up on a boat next to somebody else and said, "Excuse me, do you have any Grey Poupon or something?"
No, that was when we were in Havasu, and Grandpa Jerry with Dad, you, me, Mindy, Grandma, me, all that's everybody cruising through Lake Havasu on the Arizona side,
right?
Going up the London Bridge, and like we getting right next to a person on a boat. Yeah,
I remember that saying.
Grey Poupon.
Yeah, that was a thing. Everybody was doing that, though. They'd pull up next to people and go, "Hey, you got any Grey Poupon?" I remember that.
I still do.
Funny.
You do?
So as a kid,
only old people remember that.
Yeah, right.
When I was much younger, I remember one time we went dry camping, and we had this 5-man tent. It was me, my sister, my brother, my mom, and my dad. And we were driving up the coast, and I don't even know where in California this was. I know it was up north, but I don't know where. Maybe Bakersfield or something. I don't know. Anyway, my dad decided he'd been driving long enough, and he pulled off to the side of the road and down a dirt road and found a meadow. And they set up camp. They had the stove out, the tent out, the whole 9 yards. And down the way a little bit, there was this tree, and my mom hung blankets, like camping blankets, on the limb of this tree. And they dug a hole in the ground for us to use as a toilet. Okay. And one night,
we did something like that.
One night, my dad had to use the toilet, and asked my mom to come and hold the flashlight. Okay, because it was way dark. There was like no light. And so they went, and my dad is like doing his thing. And all of a sudden, he sees two eyeballs that are not my mother's. Sees two eyeballs and goes barreling out. Well, come to find out, they set up camp in somebody's cow pasture.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Cows
Al came
everywhere.
over to see what was going on. Yeah.
And so the next morning, mom's out and she's cooking breakfast, pancakes for us kids and everything. And we see this truck and a sheriff's car pull up. And my dad's like, what's going on? And the sheriff comes over and says, you guys are trespassing on private property. This is the owner of the property. He'd like you to leave.
Oh my God.
Whoops.
Oops. And so, of course, you know, my mom and my dad and them, and they talked, and us kids, we were told to start rolling up our sleeping bags. So, of course, we did.
Yeah.
And my sister and I were in Campfire Girls. This is like a long time ago. Campfire Girls doesn't even exist anymore. And my brother was in Boy Scouts. And so we knew how to fold over the sleeping bags and roll them up with our pillows and all that stuff. And we got in the car and we left and laughed all the way home because my dad was afraid of this cow. Because I guess from what I understand, he could see the eyes and all of a sudden it moved and it scared the heck out of him. And he took off running. It was so funny. So funny. Many family trips. Kern River. We went to Kern River many times. And then the one most memorable, probably the last family trip we ever went on, mom and dad rented a tent trailer. So there was no more dry camping. Rented a tent trailer. And we drove all the way up to Oregon, stopping at KOA campgrounds periodically, and went all the way up to Oregon, got to the KOA campground, got our spot, backed it in, hooked it up, was rolling the thing up, and the cord broke.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And it was the KOA campground they chose for me because they had horses, and I was going to be able to go horseback riding. Everybody got to do the things they got to do, but I couldn't because we had to roll it back down and head home because our tent trailer wouldn't go up.
Wow.
My dad drove from Portland, Oregon to Huntington Beach nonstop.
Well,
yeah.
Dads are known to do stuff like that.
He kissed the ground. He kissed the sidewalk when we pulled up in front of the house.
That's
and
crazy.
slept the whole day. But many of family memory, just crazy stuff, stupid stuff. The dog jumping in Kern River because she was so hot. The bull that the bull that walked through our campground at Kern River, and my mother holding my dog's muzzle closed so it wouldn't spook the cow. Because we weren't in a tent, we were just laying out on the ground in our sleeping bags. And she kept saying, pull your legs up, kids, because she didn't want the bull to walk all over us. But somebody up the river, one of their bulls got loose or something. Yeah, just
That's
major experiences.
What year was that?
I want to say it was late 60s, early 70s, maybe.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one year it rained really hard, and we had a reserved camp spot, and the camp spot that we reserved was flooded.
Underwater, yeah.
It was all
Sorry,
underwater.
you reserved that one.
Yeah. And as a kid, I remember the road that now mind you, the car that my mom and dad had at the time was a Chevy Impala. Very wide, very long.
Big old
The
boat.
road up to Kern River as a kid was very narrow. and the mountain was like you could stick your hand out the window and touch it. Okay. How they got that big old car up that little bitty 2-lane road without falling over, I have no idea. But as a kid, that's what your perspective is, you know.
Right.
Now, if
right,
I went
right.
up there today, it probably would look wider. Of course, they might have done road work.
Well, they
as well.
probably widened it. Everything's gotten wider.
Yeah, yeah, because it wasn't just cars; it was rigs, big rigs that were going down this road as well. And
Wow.
I'm like, oh my gosh! And you know, back then they didn't have cell phones and iPads and stuff like that. You had to like read a book.
How did they survive?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
how did we get through it all? You know, I remember coming back from Oregon and my sister was in the front seat, my brother was in the back seat, and I was on the floorboard in the back seat sleeping.
Yeah.
How did he do that? I could not imagine driving from Portland, Oregon to Huntington Beach, California in one day.
Well, we used to
I
drive
don't know
from
how he did it.
we used to drive from San Bernardino to the Colorado River in the back of a pickup truck.
Yeah,
Back in those days,
Yeah.
it was
it was legal.
It was
Yeah,
legal,
yeah, yeah.
And there'd be
Yeah.
4 or 5 of us kids back there with all the luggage and stuff mom packed and pulling a boat.
Michael did it.
You know?
Yep. Oh yeah. I miss those days.
Yeah, Michael did it. My mom and my stepdad had a place on the California side of Havasu. And one Thanksgiving one year, I registered to participate in their holiday boutique thing where everybody sold crafts and handmade stuff and blah, blah. And one of my mom and dad's friends had an RV there and they let us use the RV. And it was me and Michael and Mindy. And Michael was in the back seat. Now, I had a Pinto wagon. Michael was in the back seat, and the back seat was folded down, and all of our stuff was inside except for one spot where Michael sat. One spot.
Yeah.
And we piled it with pillows and blankets so it would make it somewhat comfortable. And he rode all the way to Havasu in the Pinto in that one spot. Now, mind you,
I
it was a
mean,
two-door.
you didn't pile a bunch of stuff on his lap? There's some wasted space there.
I think a cooler might have been on his lap.
Oh.
And I remember it was extremely windy, so I was trying to keep the Pinto on the road, and even with all the weight, it was that windy. And I remember when we got there, I had to like pry my fingers off the steering wheel because I was gripping it so tightly. Yep. And all Michael kept saying was, "Get out of the car, Mindy, get out of the car, Mindy, get out of the car, Mindy," because on the 17-mile road, it does this. And he had to use the facility so bad.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I kept saying,
I thought you were going to tell me because of this, he had to.
Yeah.
A couple of times I did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But we made it and we were there for 10 days and came home exactly the same way we went.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Yep, good old days.
Crazy. Yeah. Vacations are fun. Vacations are fun. I haven't been on one in a very long time. My dream is to do what you and Rhonda are doing, Dave, and that is to buy an RV, get rid of everything that I don't need, buy an RV, load it up with the stuff that I do need, and hit the road.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many places that I want to see before I'm too old to see them, you know. There's family locations that I want to go to. And but at the same time, it would be fun if me and Todd and the kids, you and Rhonda, Gary and Liz Goslada, Michael and Michelle, and we caravanned.
Yeah, Jerry Mullins just got his rig. Jerry Mullen just got his rig all set up, and he just went to Texas on a test run. He got a nice Class A diesel pusher. Yeah. So, and I think, hey, We all need to get together sometime, end up at the same place, and go to various places together. That would be fun.
Wouldn't that be a
I think
blast?
one of Rhonda's grandmothers used to do that. She used to travel around with people that she met and so forth on the road. Might have been part of Sam's Club or something like that. But they would travel all over the place.
Yeah. Well, I know. I don't know whether you're aware, Michael, but Dave and Rhonda just recently spent a week or so at the ranch in Paris. They were in between camp locations and just needed a place to hunker down for a minute. Thank God you did.
Well, it was also a good reason to go see it too.
Yeah, it was. Except that right after he got there, I got sick.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to expose him.
Must have brought it with me.
We didn't really get to do anything. But while he was there, he was telling me about all their adventures and all the places that they still wanted to see, and places that they've already gone. And because they kayak and they canoe and they hike and they have e-bikes and they have, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And then they left me standing in the street watching him drive. No, I'm joking.
See, that's something that I want to do. I want to get in an RV and I want to travel the U.S., going to like all of like the haunted places, like
we've been to a lot of places like that.
Just
like the Gettysburg Cemetery.
Yeah, places that I can go and check out and do like paranormal activity type stuff. That's my dream.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Especially because I don't believe in that type of stuff. I don't believe in ghosts and all that, even though, yes, I have had experiences. I don't believe it,
Yeah. Well, to each his own, my dear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to go to Waco, Texas.
Yeah.
And I have the address. I have the address of the house that my mother was born in. And I want to go there and take a picture, like a selfie of me standing in front of the house.
We're gonna be down there on April 8th. So you have to send me the address. I'll go take a picture.
I will. Then my grandfather and his brother had an auto repair bicycle shop on Spring Street in Waco. And I have a picture of them inside their store and a picture of what the building looks like today. So when I go, I want to kind of touch base with like the Chamber of Commerce and the Historical Society, so I can take them pictures of my grandfather's store to add to their collection of historical stuff. And I have like authentic business cards of my grandfather's for that store that I want to take with me. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I want to go to Branson. My sister lives in Branson, and so I want to go to Branson and see what Branson's all about.
That's one of the first places we went.
Is it really? I want to go see the Ark in Kentucky.
Before we hit the road.
There yet? Have you been to the Ark in Kentucky? Yeah, I want to go see that.
Yes, we did. Matter of fact, somebody made a point of texting me, maybe 4 or 5 times, saying, while you're there, you need to go see. I wonder who that was. But yeah, we went and saw it. Absolutely. It's amazing. Amazing.
I want to go to Sheboygan, Wisconsin, because my grandmother was born in Sheboygan. She was born in Wisconsin on a farm. And the Beaterwolf and Kohler family bought a plot, like hundreds of acres, and turned it into a family cemetery. And all of my great grandparents are buried there. And so I want to kind of go and see all of that. And then I want to go to like Walnut Grove and kind of experience the Little House thing. And Hannah wants to go to Dodge City and experience the Dodge City thing. And yeah. I'd like to go to Virginia and walk the Walton Family Museum, which their last name wasn't Waltons, but you know what I mean. I want to go there. There's just
it sounds like you got your bucket list. all lined up.
I do.
Yeah.
Now you just
I have a
gotta
friend that lives in
take that first
McCammon,
step and
Idaho.
get committed.
I want to go to McCammon, Idaho, and see my friend. And then the kids' godparents live in Pasco, Washington. So,
Well, you know, there's a lot of
their
places to
dream is-
see in between too.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's the
the
neat thing.
kid's gonna pull up in front of his house in the RV and knock on the door.
Yeah,
Say hi, we're home.
That'd be fun.
you better hurry up before they move.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So you're in Las Vegas now, Dave.
Right.
Where is your next destination?
Well, from here we're going to the Prescott area in Arizona, and of course
Okay.
my son lives in Arizona, so I'm sure we'll be seeing him again. Then we're going to kind of meander south. The reason why we're heading to Texas for April 8th is because that's right where the apex of the solar eclipse is happening this year. And so,
Okay.
Great.
oh, the Great Northern. Okay, Rhonda's giving me notes over here. But we're going to be not very far from Waco, where we're going to be staying. So this is going to be something I've always wanted to experience an exact perfect eclipse. I've always been, hundreds of miles kind of off, and it gets a little bit dark, but not a total eclipse. So that's kind of a neat thing. And then we're heading up.
Hopefully it's not foggy.
Huh?
Hopefully it's not foggy.
Yeah, well, that could be a rainy day, right? Oh, God.
Right?
Well, it would definitely get dark.
So
we're hoping
in the last year plus, where have you already been?
Where have we been? Well, we've been everywhere. I mean, the first time we shot across to North Carolina. Rhonda has relatives there. We stayed up there. I have another YouTube creator friend that is up in North Carolina, so we stayed at his, set up in front of his shop for a bit. I don't know, like 3-4 days. Visiting him. Then, of course, we headed down and spent a little time in South Carolina. And then, believe it or not, I had another YouTube subscriber that we chat over the years. And matter of fact, she came on during the truck convoy when all that was going on. And she did a little report of, because they came into her town. And so she videoed directly live to one of our shows. So we got to know her really well. And then she says, well, hey, if you and Rhonda are ever up this way, she said, I got a big old long driveway. So as it turns out, I called her and she says, yeah, sure. I had to fly back to California to finish my last thing. And that lady was so gracious. I mean, we tried to find a place to park our RV for a month or so at a storage, but every storage facility out there that I went to was either repaving, doing something, but they couldn't take any RVs at the time. And so she said, well, just leave it in the driveway. So that's what we did. So Rhonda went and visited some of her friends. My sister and did various different things. While I was back here in California bugging.
Yes, you were.
To that last building. And then from from Georgia, we went on down to Florida. And we were in the mid part of Florida. Stayed there for a couple months, during the winter, because it's kind of warm down there. So I guess I became an official snowbird at that moment, I guess.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and so then as the climate or the seasons were changing, we kind of migrated across to the lower part of Alabama and went all through some of the parks and things down there. And then we stopped and visited another YouTube subscriber that says, yeah, come by and see us. So it's been quite an experience, meeting these people as you go, and people just invite you.
I think we lost him.
No, he's frozen.
Yeah, it's all right.
He'll come back.
He's trying to come through.
Ended up staying
Oh no.
He says rain affects my Starlink.
Yeah.
another because it's been rainy. It does the
Yeah, it's
right now.
affecting. It must
That's
be
probably what
raining.
happened. But
pretty
anyway,
bad
then we
there.
stayed at another YouTube subscribers. She had like 40 acres or something. I don't know what she had, but big lot. So we stayed and hung out with her for about a week, and then we headed north. Am I still here?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
still
you're
here.
there.
Okay, all right. Just you never know, because So anyway, so as we slowly went on up to Michigan, where my brother lives, and we stayed at my brother's for a while, and then we headed over to Pennsylvania, Gettysburg, and then from there
Cool.
we went and we did all that touristy stuff. Went to Washington D.C. while we were there. Checked out all the monuments, and some of the museums and things out there. And then we went to Niagara Falls. And that was like a lifelong dream of Rhonda's, is to go to Niagara Falls. But we not only did the United States side, but we did the Canadian side as well. So that was kind of and you know what? The view is much better from the Canadian side. It really is.
I'm sure.
You're like right there.
Right Did you have trouble getting in? Did you have trouble getting across the border and back?
Only coming back. I had to prove I was an American citizen, and my real ID, they told me it wasn't a real ID, and it was, but they said, no, Florida doesn't issue real IDs, but it does. That's the only ID that Florida issues now. But the officer apparently wasn't up on his things, because we went online and checked to make sure. Rhonda had a passport. I just didn't have a passport, but I had a real ID. So after he gave me a whole bunch of trouble, with as open as our borders are, I can't imagine why I had so much trouble getting back into my own country. But anyway,
you would be the one stuck on the other side.
Right. Yeah. So then we headed back, and while we were in Michigan, they were saying, "Oh, you need to go to the Upper UP." I'm like, "Upper UP? What the heck is that?" That's the Upper Peninsula. Yeah, Upper Peninsula. And there's a island off of that that's called Mackinac Island, which it's kind of a tourist trappy kind of thing. I mean, it's all set up just strictly for tourists, but there's no cars. Everything is either bicycle or electric bike, electric car, electric scooters, that kind of stuff, or horses. And they still bring supplies in with wagons and horses into the town.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a really neat. The whole downtown strip is like, you kind of look. It's like maybe, in my mind, like Disneyland. The downtown part of Disneyland, but these are actual shops. Actually, and they're all privately owned. And you can go around the whole island on a bicycle. So it's pretty neat. Kind of
sounds like what Catalina was back in the day.
Yeah, it's kind of like it, because you can still do that in Catalina too. Yeah. But
crazy.
The Catalina has vehicles on it, actual, cars and stuff.
Yeah.
They absolutely have this restriction, and if you have an e-bike, it has to meet certain requirements to take it over to the island, which there's different classes. Ours does not qualify because it has a throttle control. They don't allow throttle control over there. So, but anyway, and then of course along the way we've done a lot of little videos and things here and there, of different things that we've done, and of course created our channel and Going Somewhere Together.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Are you having fun with that?
Well, yeah, but sometimes I have a lot of fun and don't have time to do the videos sometimes.
Well, let's see the one that you've got.
Well, this is the page or our channel right here, and if you go to our channel, Going Somewhere Together, there's all sorts of different things we have where we do a lot of go to caving. That's
Is that inside a cave?
that's inside a cave.
Wow,
that's cool.
Dave, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
And oh, what's that? Rhonda's shooting a gun.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, she does.
Oh,
wait
my
for it. There's my son. That's my son. We're in Arizona on that one.
Oh, okay.
Watch this gun. That's my son's gun, I think. One of his. Anyway. Come on. Pull the trigger.
Shoot it, shoot
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, then this is in Tennessee. It's got it's amazing boardwalk that goes above and elevated over the side of the river. In
Wow.
Chattanooga. Is that Chattanooga, hon? Yeah, Chattanooga, Tennessee. So these are just real shorts because I want to show you just kind of glimpses of
Catch up with
you
Ron.
know what
Look
we've
at that.
done and seen, and we've done this on our bikes. That's Rhonda up there.
Wow. And for those
What's
of you
this
that
one?
are
Oh,
watching,
kayaking.
you can notice that down on the bottom is his YouTube channel contact information, so you can go to their channel and watch it.
Yes. There's now. See that person there with us is another YouTuber that we ran into while we were out there, and so that you see the double logo. So it's just amazing the people you run into.
That is so cool.
Yeah,
Oh, I would love to do that.
and that's an advertisement.
I'm so jealous.
Oh, that's so cool.
Okay,
That is
so I
just
just showed you a little bit.
amazing.
But if you really want to see all the ones with the bikes and things, that you just have to go to the channel, and
Yeah.
most of them are kind of lengthy, you know, because
Yeah.
we'll show you riding. We do a lot of off road too on our bikes where there's no planks like that to ride on. It's just we're just out on a dirt trail going up and down the hill between trees. But there are some that are just amazing in Florida and Alabama as well, where they're actually dedicated bicycle parks that they're not paved. It's just trails, but they're all rated green, blue, black, just like if you're snow skiing, you have different, like the beginners and the intermediate. And, so black is expert. That means there's going to be a bunch of drop offs and there's a lot of hills and stuff like that. So so
I'd have to go on the bunny trail.
yeah.
I'd have to be on the bunny trail with the kids.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So do you still have do you and Rhonda still have like locations that you're like biting at the bit to get to still?
Well, I think we hit all the ones that were really, but we still have places we want to go see and do still. One of the things that I don't know if and when, but it'd be nice to maybe go up to Washington, one of these loops as we're chasing the weather, maybe, and take the ferry and go up to Alaska. That would be something.
Can you take an RV on one of those?
Well, the ferry is it circumvents that road that goes through Canada, and they take trucks, big rigs, all sorts of stuff, and they take it right on up to, I think it goes into Anchorage, and then they unload.
Fun.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
But you definitely have to do that in the summertime, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think you'd be able to do it.
But but we still have all sorts of places we haven't seen, in the
or at least go to Alaska during the time where it's daylight for 6 months out of the year.
Right, which would be summertime. Yeah, because their winter is when it goes dark, completely dark.
Yeah, for 6 months out of the year. Yeah. Wow.
Amazing.
Wow. So I'm super jealous, but I'm getting close to I'm getting close to being on the road very soon. As you know, my husband has got his heels dug into the ground here in California.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but he does. And he is now, as of this morning, wanting me to look into getting us tickets to an RV show.
Yeah, that's a thing to do too.
So I'm going to start researching local RV shows and maybe make a day trip and go out to one of these RV shows. I'm
Yeah.
hoping I can find one in like Anaheim Convention Center or
Yeah,
something.
get
I think the
educated.
closest one I found was in
Get
San
educated
Diego or
before you
something.
buy. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanna go to an RV show and just kind of look and see. I know what I want in an RV. I don't know that I can have what I want in an RV, but if I'm gonna long term it, I want to make sure that it's comfortable and it's accommodating, you know.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
and if you're gonna buy new, that's the place to
yeah,
buy it, because they always cut the prices because they take them to the shows. They don't want to drive them
yeah,
back. They have to pay people to
no,
haul them back and forth. But
yeah,
if you're getting used, obviously you use the show to learn. So you can see what you
yeah,
kind of like and what you don't like.
yeah,
And the other thing is talk to people and find out what works for them, what doesn't work for them. I mean, we
yeah.
kind of jumped into this. Well, we've learned a lot. Let's put it that way. But I think,
Well, I remember when you first started, you were going to do it in a little bitty travel trailer,
right.
you know, little bitty
But
teeny weeny thing. And I said, guys, this is not going to cut it for you. Go look at an RV.
Yeah, well,
Go,
that was a thing. That was after staying there for a month or so. In that, we realized, yeah, this is just way too small. Where do you put everything? How are you going to haul? You know,
yeah,
then the logistics of she's got a car, I have to have a truck to pull the trailer. The whole thing was, and so I don't remember what we were doing, either coming back from a trip or something or whatever. But I said, maybe we should consider maybe a Class C, and then we can just pull the car. So,
yeah,
ixnay that trailer idea, then you're
yeah,
down to one vehicle. And it just so happened we ended up with a Class A just because it was a super deal, and we just walked right into it. It was like, oh my goodness.
yeah. Didn't you go to like Mike Thompson off the 215 or something?
Say it again. What?
Didn't you go to Mike Thompson RV over off the 215 in Menifee?
No, it was Richardson, but we went to
Oh,
the first place we stopped was I can't remember the name, but it was right there as you come out of San Bernardino going into Riverside, up that hill there. It's the giant RV something or other.
Right.
Anyway, that's where we started looking, and we saw some really, really neat Class C's, which Class C is kind of like got a truck or a van type front to it.
Yeah.
And it kind of looks like maybe it's got a camper on it, but it's still a full-on RV. But we learned a lot. We learned during that process that we didn't want to buy anything that was built during COVID, because the lack of labor and so forth. Things were half done, then new people come in and work on it, and then people that didn't have the experience. And so the industry was running into all sorts of problems with, quality control.
Right.
And one of the ones that we looked at, really neat Jayco, and it was relatively new, but I noticed that it had a water leak up in the upper corner. And when we went on the outside, you could see where the fiberglass shell thing that they made for it didn't come together right, and it was leaking inside. And so that was a quality control thing. But then everybody we talked to after that warns you, you don't want to get one that was produced during that time frame, maybe before COVID, but several years after, or brand new, but so that was the other thing to stay clear of.
That makes sense. Sense. That's amazing. I'm so jealous. I so want to be there.
You will soon.
I know. And I always say that, I have to wait till Hannah's 18 before I can do it. And I don't. I can do it anytime I choose, really. But we're already starting to dispose of things and get rid of things, and make a plan and make lists, and my map. I already have my map. My map's done. Now it's just a matter of putting a game plan together and figuring out what we need, going to those RV shows and getting some ideas about what we really want. Because Todd's biggest thing is I don't want to live in a box. So whatever I get, I need to make sure that it's not a box. You know what I mean? That it's somewhat homey, that it's somewhat doable. Because back in the day when I was living in an RV that was older than old, it was rough. There were no slide outs. There were no slide outs.
Yeah.
And so it was like, you know, and he's never been in anything other than that. And so I want to make sure he's aware of the fact that these slide outs make a huge
right. Get more room and so forth. Yeah.
Because of course, wherever we go, we're going to have our dogs because we can't be without our dogs. They're all service dogs. So we have to have our dogs. So we have to have enough room for them, you know, and I'm sure that when we go, it's going to be Todd, me, and the kids. So I got to have enough room for 4 people, you know, and it's going to be a family thing. And I want them to experience it because it may be the only time they're ever going to get a chance to do it, you know?
Yeah.
So, and if I can get my son to join in, retire, do whatever he's got to do, because what we're doing right now, we can do on the road.
Oh, 100%.
You know, we don't have to be in a studio. We don't have to be in an office. We can do it on the road. I mean, look at Dave. He does it on the road, right?
Yeah. That would be cool.
Yeah. So,
well and there's other things. There's other things you can do too. There's what they call work camp programs where you literally can be on the road and get hired on for like 3 months stay to maybe, let's say, be a camp host. So they put you up in a spot for free, but you take care of certain things like maintenance or whatever the case may be, you know, help out people coming in and out. And private parks do that. A lot of the state parks have camp hosts that they do that, and some of them actually pay you and give you a place to stay, just depending on what level and what they expect out of you.
Right.
And then there are actual jobs that you can get, like we did the sugar beet harvesting in North Dakota, and I had a blast. But you know, where we participated for 15 days, got paid really good. They gave us a place to stay, electric, water, and so forth. And you work for 15 days and then just do what everybody else is doing. They take off and go keep on doing whatever they're doing and maybe come back
whatever
next
their
year.
plan is. Yeah.
But there's all different. There's other companies that do the same thing. They realize that you are a migrant, so you're traveling. So they set it up. They have they do have like crash courses on whatever they're doing. Like there's a thing called Digi Farm or Digi something, where it's an electronics company that hires people that are camping, and they go in there for like 3 months or longer. It's your choice, and you help fill orders like Amazon, like you're putting stuff into boxes but this is all specific electrical stuff that they do. So it's real, special. It's not just, any order that people send in, it's real specific stuff like that. And they're all over the place.
That's amazing.
So a person could work and jump around and get jobs here and there, and get some income coming in here and there too, as well. You don't have to be independently wealthy.
Yeah. It's amazing how in today's world, we're able to do stuff like that and enjoy and still be able to homeschool and do, real life stuff with your kids, where
all
it's not
sorts of people doing
and they
that.
can actually physically touch and see stuff. Whereas back in the day, you couldn't do stuff like that. It was all in a book, and now you don't need to do that. And I think that is much more nurturing than being in a brick and mortar, Nothing would thrill me more than to call my kid and say, okay, family's hitting the road. This is where we're going to be. Do what you got to do to get here, and just get out there and enjoy the world while you have an opportunity, you know.
Yep.
That's
100% agree.
what we need to do. Yeah, that's what we need to do. I'm so excited. So excited. Well, I want to thank you, Dave, for being here, participating, showing us your wonderful journey. I am so excited for you. I'm excited for us. And I could not ask for a better guest. You have enlightened me, and you've, I'm sure, enlightened Michael. And thank you again so much for being here.
All right.
Everybody, make sure that you check out his podcast, Going Somewhere Together, on YouTube.
Like and subscribe it.
Yes, like and subscribe, as well as ours, Moments with Michelle and Michael on YouTube. This was an awesome episode.
It was a long one, but it was worth it.
Totally worth it.
Can only get better.
Yes.
It can only get better. It can only get better. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Dave, for being our guest speaker. I appreciate
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to get out on my own vacation. Are you ready, Michael?
Let's do it.
I'm excited.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Like and subscribe. Let's hit the road, dude.